to a 7-2 record with dominant inside play. In his first and only season with the Hoosiers, the transfer from Auburn is averaging 20 points and 8 rebounds per game. 4-3 Ball State relies on junior Skip Mills, averaging 19 per game, as the Cardinals take flight in search of an upset. Ball State and IU next. Anticipated interstate matchup, Ball State and 17th ranked Indiana. Good evening and welcome to Worthen Arena in Muncie along with Jerry Pearson. I'm Vince Welch. It's been a long time for both of these teams. Ball State hasn't played in 11 days. Indiana hasn't had game action in 8 days. Both are excited to get on the court here tonight, and the sellout crowd here at Worthen Arena should provide a great atmosphere. Ball State's strength is its defense. Indiana's strength is its offense. Something's got to give this evening. Jerry, what will Ball State have to do tonight defensively to limit Indiana's offensive attack?
There's going to be about 12,000 people. They're going to want to know that answer to that question tonight, Vince. I think what you're going to see is some trapping down inside by the Ball State Cardinals. They have to pick their poison, so to speak, Vince. They have to decide, are they going to commit down inside and keep Marco under control, or are they going to guard the three-point line? I think they have to do both, and they're going to have to change defenses probably tonight.
Indiana shooting 54% from the field, and much of that high percentage comes from the paint, and the big fella down low, 6'8", 268-pounder Marco Killingsworth.
I think Marco Killingsworth may be the best postman in the country in terms of position. He throws that 6'8" frame inside into the defensive people real well. Scores down inside. His free throw shooting has gotten better. His numbers are terrific, one of the best in the country.
The Ball State Cardinals have already taken a blow this season with the injury to their leading returning player from a year ago. Peyton Stovall suffered a knee injury early, had surgery earlier this week. He's done for the season, so much of the Cardinals' offensive burden has fallen to Skip Mills.
Skip Mills has really picked it up this year. His offensive averages just keep rising. He's a great outside shooter. He's getting points both inside and outside. Great passer. His defense has always been outstanding. He's improved as much as anybody probably in the league right now. Outstanding numbers. They're number 2 in the conference at the moment.
Take a look at the Cardinal Varsity Club keys to the game. First of all, for Mike Davis's Hoosiers.
He has to keep his team in tune, Vince. And what I mean by that, they have to keep together, focused. They cannot have those lapses in the game that's going to allow Ball State to make any kind of run. They've gotten good balance both inside and outside this year. They have to maintain that part of their game as well. In terms of the Cardinals, it's going to be really important that they decide how's going to be the best to play Indiana. Roll the dice, inside, outside, how's the best way to guard it. And secondly, it's important that someone, especially maybe one of the big guys, can step up and help take some of the offensive burden off of Skip.
The champagne is on ice, and we're getting ready to bring in the new year with Ball State and Indiana from Worthen Arena in Muncie.
America is choosing Dodge. Now during the Dodge year-end event, you've got even more to choose from on our best lineup of vehicles, like the all-new Ram Mega Cab. You can choose between our Miles of Freedom plan, 2 years of gas and scheduled maintenance, and a 5-year, 60,000-mile limited warranty on Ram 1500 and Caravan. Or choose an 05 Durango and get $2,000 year-end bonus cash for $7,000 in total cash allowances. One great lineup, 2 great deals. The Dodge year-end event, going on now, but only until January 3rd.
See the nation's premier events in sports like never before with ESPN HD and ESPN2 HD.
That's incredible!
You'll feel the action with high definition. The picture is clear with ESPN HD and ESPN2 HD. Once you're there, you'll never go back.
It's the best way to experience a game without buying a ticket. Call Sigacom today and order ESPN HD and ESPN2 HD. Sports so real, you'll swear you're there.
A lot can change in 20 years. At Sagamore, we've brought more choices to our members, with more doctors and hospitals to choose from. We've introduced more benefits, too, like web-based health information, maternity programs, and more budget-minded plans for employers. There is one thing, however, that hasn't changed, and that's our mission of making people who are with Sagamore feel good. Sagamore Health Network, simply the better choice.
Broadcast of Ball State basketball is sponsored by Cardinal Varsity Club, helping Ball State student athletes on the court and in the classroom. Ball State University, it's everything you need. And WIPB Corporate.
Happy holidays.
Just moments away from tip-off here between the Indiana Hoosiers and the Ball State Cardinals. Take a look at our Ball State Federal Credit Union starting lineups tonight as the Cardinals and Hoosiers get ready to do battle for IU. Marshall Strickland and the outstanding backcourt mate Lewis Monroe. DJ White getting his first start of the season, coming back from injury. Robert Vaden and Marco Killingsworth, who we addressed in the open. What a terrific five for Mike Davis. Ball State with the freshman guard Maurice Acker in place of Peyton Stovall. Chris Ames, Charles Bass in the middle, and DeAndre Payton and Skip Mills at the forward spots. The Hoosiers, as mentioned, are coached by Mike Davis in his 6th year at the helm of the IU basketball program. He did not coach here in the 2002 meeting in Worthen Arena between Indiana and Ball State because he was serving a 1-game suspension. Tim Buckley, the head coach of the Ball State Cardinals in his 6th season as well, has won 87 and lost 72 as the head coach of the Cardinals. Vince Welch along with Jerry Pearson, and the third member of our broadcast team tonight is Kevin Lee.
Thank you, Vince. Anytime Indiana plays on the road at an in-state opponent, the atmosphere is always electric, and tonight is no different. If there was any chance for the Hoosiers to overlook the Cardinals tonight, it was probably erased when Indiana lost at Indiana State earlier this month. Both of these teams have played the Sycamores. Indiana lost. So did Ball State at Indiana State in a very close game. They've also both played Butler. While the Hoosiers pulled away late, the Cardinals lost to the Bulldogs here. Everybody getting set to ring in the new year and looking forward to a good one here tonight at a sold-out Worthen Arena between Indiana and Ball State.
Well, there certainly is an electric atmosphere here. It's expected when Ball State and Indiana are getting ready to do battle, and then you throw in the fact that it's New Year's Eve, puts a little extra hop in the step for everyone involved. And I know, Jerry, the fans looking forward to a good game tonight. Hopefully we'll see one.
Well, they do, Vince. You know, Worthen Arena is one of the best arenas, not only in the Mid-American Conference, but throughout the country. Worthen Arena deserves a game like Indiana to play in here. It's great. It's a 2-for-1 kind of deal. We go back, Ball State goes back to Bloomington next year in the finale of that 3-year contract. But it's really good for a school like Indiana to play Ball State, Indiana State, Butler. They played other schools in the state throughout the years, and it's just a great atmosphere here tonight.
Well, there are a lot of schools, bigger schools, that wouldn't come into the smaller schools arena. So give Mike Davis and the Indiana Athletic Department and the Indiana basketball program credit for doing that. Their second trip here in 4 years. We talked in the open about Indiana's hot shooting. The Hoosiers have been very good this season, except for 2 games. Indiana State and Duke got them. Indiana State, a big upset. Duke, the #1 team in the country, you can't consider that an upset. But those were the 2 games that IU didn't really play its game.
Well, that's right, Vincent. I think Ball State and the coaches hope that tonight they'll be a little off one way or the other, either their 3-point shooting or that Marco and White has an off game. But they've been very balanced. They're a very well-coached team. They're very simple in what they do, but they take their talent and they put them in places on the floor that makes it very difficult to defend. The Ball State defense is going to have to really play to the level of their statistics in this basketball game.
Indiana wearing the road red, Ball State in the home white. Charles Bass will jump against DJ White. This is the 19th meeting between Ball State and Indiana. Here's the men wearing the whistles. Mike Senzer, J.D. Collins, and Terry Weimer. Ball State with the basketball, the first possession of the game.
Really an important possession. We wanted to see him get off to a good start.
And a whistle right away off the loose ball rebound. Ball State had an opportunity to get the offensive board, but it went through the hands of Skip Mills, and Marco Killingsworth grabbed the rebound, and he was off and running, and quickly Ball State grabbed him, and a foul was called on DeAndre Payton, his first. Many of these players on the court here today have known one another for years, whether they played high school ball together or against one another, played in the AAU circuits together, many of them.
That's what those camps do for you. You know, they play the competition camps, and they all go to same places all the time.
DJ White very strong on the turnaround jumper, and then Vaden missed on the putback, and here comes Ball State.
Not a real good shot there by the Indiana team right out of the chute. Good offensive movement at all.
It'll be interesting to see how DJ White works into the lineup tonight as Charles Bass misses. White, we've told you, suffered a foot injury early in the season, exhibition action, and did not come back until just a couple of games ago. There's a whistle, and it's going against Indiana. Turnover Hoosiers.
Vince, you talk about what a great offensive player Killingsworth is, and we all know that. But he turns the ball over more than anybody else on the Indiana Hoosiers. I think he has like 40 turnovers this year, which is very high for a postman. And there he turned it over there with his travel.
Acker guarded by Monroe. Indiana the man-to-man. Vaden checking Ames, and now Bass faces White. Bass, the transfer from Ohio State, spins and scores.
Excellent move by Bass. Turned to his strong shoulder. To his right, used his left hand very well.
And Ball State will need that type of performance from Bass. Three-pointer off the mark from Strickland. And the rebound pulled down by Ames.
Like the way Ball State's pushing the ball here, getting that nervous energy out of the way. Good spacing on offense. Really trying to attack the defense of the Hoosiers.
Good shot fake, and the freshman Acker missed it, and Bass is called for over the back, his first foul.
That's a position right there, Vince. Killingsworth had good defensive position on Charlie Bass. Bass has to learn then to back away because he's not, he's just not going to get the basketball without fouling. And there was a good example when he went over the back.
Played just over a minute and a half. Indiana yet to get on the board. Ball State on top 2-0. Monroe with quite a size advantage over Acker should he want to use it. Acker reaches in though at 5'8" and steals it away. Now Mills pulls up, shoots the perimeter shot, can't get it, and Strickland rebounds for Indiana.
It's a shot that Skip Mills will make 7 out of 10 times. Good elevation on his shot, just didn't go down.
Killingsworth uses that left hand, but has the shot blocked by Bass and then called for the travel underneath.
Killingsworth that particular time. Vince, you see it here. He's trying to do a little bit too much. Bass, pretty good shot there, but shot blocking. He's one of the leading shot blockers in the conference. And then a little hop step by Killingsworth.
Bass had 7 block shots in Ball State's win at Wright State early in the year. DeAndre Payton turnaround jumper rolls in.
Good inside pass there by Skip. DeAndre was able to step in the lane.
Bass rejects Killingsworth, and the ball, after it was blocked, landed on the inline, so it will be Indiana basketball.
Everybody gets excited, and this is what Charlie Bass needs to do. He's playing very aggressive in there tonight. Excellent block. That's one of his strengths. And you see...
Actually looked like Payton came from out of bounds to field the ball, so that was officially the call, not the ball on the inline. Offensive rebound by White, and Indiana is going to get a couple of opportunities here on this possession. Working it down under the baseline as Indiana sags in on Killingsworth, and there's a foul out on the perimeter called on Chris Ames of Ball State. That will be his first.
But Ball State's committing, going in and diagonally trapping opposite. Then they have to get back out when the pass goes out. Did a good job of recovering that time. Just got off balance on the closeout to the offensive player and caused the foul.
Tim Buckley going to his bench, keeping Charles Bass fresh by giving him a quick breather. Tom Howland, the senior who has not played much this season, comes in and will use some of the experience and size and weight to lean on Marco Killingsworth. Indiana has yet to score, and we've played 3:15 plus. Lob pass in for DJ White, leans in for the first basket.
Get a little bit better pressure on the passer, so it doesn't make it as easy to throw the ball in the lob.
Payton one dribble and scores.
You love to see the big guy being aggressive there. Payton taking Killingsworth hard on the dribble. Excellent drive to the hoop.
DeAndre Payton grew up in Indianapolis, attended Lawrence Central, finished his high school career in Florida before going on to Vincennes Junior College. Robert Vaden, three-pointer. What a terrific player Vaden has become. He's been good for a long time, but he has really developed his game here at Indiana.
But maybe the best all-around athlete, Vince, in the entire country at his size.
Under 16 minutes to play. Ball State and Indiana from Worthen Arena.
Cardinal Varsity Club helps support over 400 student athletes in 19 sports, and their hard work has paid off with Mid-American Conference championships, NCAA tournament appearances, and new athletic facilities. Ball State ranks in the top 10 among all NCAA Division I schools in student-athlete graduation rates and the number of GTE academic All-Americans. It's easy to join Cardinal Varsity Club and help student-athletes continue to excel.
When I first came to Ball State, I didn't really know what I wanted to major in, but I knew I wanted to be at a place where I have lots of choices and programs that were right for me, programs that would help me get a great job when I graduated, taught by professors who would give me personal attention.
Ball State has over 220 undergraduate and graduate programs.
I picked the right place.
Academic excellence at Ball State University.
What a difference you made in my life.
Every business has a story, a message, a reason to communicate. WIPB Corporate can give life to the story, help illustrate the message, clarify the point. WIPB Corporate provides video solutions for businesses and organizations. WIPB Corporate, full-service video production. Take your message to the next level.
Indiana missed its first 6 shots, but has since made 2 in a row. But the Ball State Cardinals still on top, 6-5. DeAndre Payton with a couple of early buckets.
This is what you want to see out of your big forward here, is a hard drive to the basket. He took Marco Killingsworth hard that time. Marco didn't want to foul him. Good body control, little finger roll up to the basket. You see DeAndre Payton's numbers right there. Needs to get better. His rebounds have to improve. Ball State expects him to get more points as the season rolls along.
It's a good look at Maurice Acker, the 5'8" freshman. Tom Howland, the 6'11" senior. Howland started the final 16 games last season, but has seen limited time this season. But this was a game that Indiana will put that Ball State bench to the test, and Howland will provide valuable minutes, particularly with some bulk inside.
Really glad to see. This is a good move by the Ball State coaching staff. Coming out in a 2-2-1 zone press, Vince, full court, and falling back into a 2-3 zone. That's that balance we talked about. You want to keep Indiana from really kind of feeling out what's going on and being comfortable in any particular kind of versus any kind of defense.
Howland called for a foul inside, and he'll go to the sideline while Charles Bass comes back in.
Ball State going back to their half-court man-to-man here in the out-of-bounds situation. Don't want to give an easy three-point shot, staying in the 2-3 zone on the out-of-bound play here for Indiana.
Mike Davis has not gone to his bench. Still the original 5 out on the court. Monroe with the basketball. Pick and roll with Killingsworth with shot fake. And a sweet jump shot. Marco Killingsworth known more for his work in the paint, but showed the touch from the perimeter. And IU now with its first lead.
IU either gets a layup, it seems like, this season, or a three-point shot. So very unusual for them just to get a two-pointer inside the lane, inside the three-point arc.
Acker drives in, finds Payton at the top of the key.
DeAndre Payton seems to have his rhythm tonight on his jumper. Good-looking shot there.
Killingsworth back for Indiana.
Yeah, you can see the positioning that Killingsworth was able to get on Bass. And Bass cannot let him get down there and set up so low. Just inviting trouble that way.
Payton again. Missed this time. Ames is there. Can't get the put back, and Killingsworth pulls down the rebound for Indiana. His 4th.
Those are little bunnies, Vince, if you have to, against teams like Indiana, you just have to make.
Strickland hounded by Mills, and Bass now steps out to guard Killingsworth while Payton checks DJ White. It's a mismatch. DJ White just much bigger and stronger than DeAndre Payton, and Tim Buckley sees that, and he's called a timeout.
Well, he's not happy with Bass or Payton, because in 2 situations down the floor offensively for Indiana, they just took their big guys, went in there and posted up on him. And here you see how easy DeAndre Payton just kind of lets him get in there and tries to swat it away, kind of a playground type move, and that's not the way to defend against a guy like DJ White.
Giving up a couple of inches and about 40 pounds. For the big job or the do-it-yourself home improvement, A Rental Service Company in Muncie can help with tool rental for any size job. Steel chainsaws, trimmers, blowers, sales and service, all at A Rental Service Company. Proud to support Ball State basketball. Ball State 4 of 10 from the floor here in the early going. And Indiana 5 of 11. Here's a look at Landon Adler, freshman from Decatur, Indiana. Played his high school ball at Adams Central. Seeing his first action for Ball State tonight. Guarded by Vaden.
I really think Adler has a lot of possibilities. Getting better and better, feeling more comfortable out there. He can shoot the basketball, can run well, has good positioning. Good rebounder as well.
Ames from the baseline, well off the mark. Killingsworth pulls down his 5th rebound. Quickly, Lewis Monroe to the front court. Drives in and then is called for the charge.
Good job on Ames that time. Ames has to get his jump shot tuned in much better. Missed a shot down there and then did a good job of redeeming himself by taking the charge here. It's an excellent defensive play. Indiana wants to take advantage of a turnover like that and come down and get something positive happen on their offense.
Mike Davis going to the bench for the first time. A.J. Ratliff, the former Indiana Mr. Basketball, in, and he's guarding Chris Ames down on the block. Ames leans in with the left-hander. Can't get it, but Bass tips it in.
Excellent job by the big fella. Just got to get, Bass just has to continue to play like that. Be very active. And Marco Killingsworth did not do a good job of finding him on the defensive glass.
Inside out game, and Killingsworth misses this one on the pass from Strickland. Mills pushes into the front court, shoots the 3 off the mark.
Too quick that time. That's not what the coaches want. All those, if you're going to have a guy shoot it, Skip Mills is the guy, but probably came a little too quick and was defended fairly well.
Approaching the 12.5-minute mark. Killingsworth trying to work inside and draws some contact. Landon Adler will pick up the personal. That'll be the first on Adler. The 5th on Ball State as a team. Indiana with just 1 team foul here in the first 7.5 minutes. DJ White back in for Indiana. Also Earl Calloway in for the first time tonight.
Indiana does such a good job, Vince, of getting the ball down low inside out of their offense and keep good spacing down in there. And Marco does a great job of shot faking, getting the defender up in the air a lot, and is able to draw the foul.
Calloway with the basketball, the junior from Atlanta. Now Vaden with it, guarded by Payton, and now back to Calloway. Working the perimeter, A.J. Ratliff, and now Strickland has to go high in the air to save it. Indiana will work it around the perimeter and then find that inside presence in either DJ White or Killingsworth. It's White now with Killingsworth on the bench, and there's DJ with the easy bucket.
So athletic on the perimeter, and they get around the defender and puts a lot of pressure on guys like Charles Bass and Payton down inside, and then good pitch off there.
DJ White with 6 points. Bass inside, jump hook, likes that shot, couldn't get it down. Rebound pulled down by Indiana. Hoosiers with a 3-point lead. Ratliff is open. Missed it.
Too wide open, I think, Vince. Nobody had a hand in his face.
Indiana's had a lot of uncontested shots this season.
Yes, they have.
And they've done a good job of knocking down most of them. 48%, leading the country from 3-point range.
That's incredible. Leading the country in field goal percentage as well.
DeAndre Payton trying to continue his offensive streak. Couldn't get it in and out. Calloway called for the travel. Good job by Maurice Acker to stay in front of him defensively. 11:07 to play in the first half. Indiana on top of Ball State, 13-10 in Muncie.
Ball State Federal Credit Union is now connected to the Credit Union Service Center network. Members can access their accounts at more than 800 credit unions in Indiana and across the country, and locations are being added every day. Members of Ball State Federal Credit Union can make withdrawals, deposits, account transfers, or many other transactions at participating network branches. Locations can be found on their website. Another reason to be a member of Ball State Federal Credit Union. Proud to support Ball State Athletics.
When it comes to your home, Kite does it right. Kite does it right. Remember, contractors count on Kite, and so should you.
Gary's Body Shop provides quality collision repairs and painting on all makes and models.
Guaranteed.
Their experienced certified technicians will restore your car to its pre-accident condition.
Guaranteed.
Gary's office staff will coordinate the pickup and delivery of your car, and their estimators will assist you with the insurance claims process. They back their repairs with a written lifetime warranty, and they're confident you'll be pleased with the results.
Guaranteed.
Gary's Body Shop on 1st Avenue across from Goodwill. Call 424-8342.
This portion of Ball State basketball is sponsored by Cardinal Varsity Club, helping Ball State student athletes on the court and in the classroom. Ball State University, it's everything you need. And WIPB Corporate.
11:07 to play in the first half at Worthen Arena with Vince Welch and Jerry Pearson. I'm Kevin Lee. Indiana with the early 13-10 jump. It's been back and forth so far. In the first couple of timeouts, Tim Buckley has been stressing to his players to stay within themselves. Make sure you don't get too high or too low. Don't let the crowd, whether it's positive or negative, affect you in any way. And make sure you dictate the tempo and dictate the play rather than the Indiana Hoosiers.
Indiana with some substitution. Ben Allen into the ball game for the first time tonight. The big fella down low. Inside pass to Tom Howland, and Howland will get the bucket on the goaltending call.
Indiana came out in a 2-3 zone out of that timeout there, Vince. Haven't played very much. Here you see the replay. Good post up by Tom Howland there, and you see the obvious goaltending call by the official right on top of it. But came out there, played that 2-3, which they haven't shown too much this year.
There's Allen fresh off the bench, showing his nice touch from the field. 21 points and 7 rebounds in that loss at Indiana State. He had 5 of 6 from three-point range. So even though he's 6'10", 245, he's got a nice touch from the perimeter. Freshman from Melbourne, Australia. Maurice Acker trying to find a little room inside. Instead, gets it to Howland, who knocks down the jump shot. Boy, offense off the bench from Tom Howland is a big plus for Ball State.
It sure is. Anytime those post guys can play that way, it's a very big asset for their offense. Just the psychic of the team is as good as anything.
Ball kicked around underneath. Howland goes on the floor for it. Finally tied up, and the possession arrow points toward Indiana, so the Hoosiers will keep it. Killingsworth coming back in. Roderick Wilmot into the ball game for Indiana for the first time tonight. The Hoosiers have turned it over 5 times, and Ball State has taken advantage with 8 points off those 5 turnovers. Here comes Bass back in for Howland. Howland getting a nice hand from the Ball State crowd. It's not often you see Howland even get off the bench this season anyway.
That's right, Vince. I mean, he might be a little winded and asked to come out because he hasn't played much. Hasn't been even a factor in the depth chart here in recent games. But came in there and got 2 quick baskets and did a great job.
Landon Adler is going to come back for Ball State as well. Mike Davis with a question. He's over chatting with the officials. It's maybe a question of the clock with 9:46 showing and 35 on the shot clock. I think they were wanting to make sure that there would be a full 35. Ratliff. A.J. Ratliff missed the first 3 games with an injured right thumb, but looked healthy as could be on that sweet jump shot. Of course, had the big 21-point second half in the win over Kentucky. Drive to the bucket, off the mark. Good attempt by Jalon Perryman, and then Ball State called for the foul off the rebound.
Jalon took it hard to the baseline. Not a bad move right there, actually, but then it called for a foul right there on the replay. Good hustle move.
Under 9.5 minutes to play, first half. Indiana 18, Ball State 14. There's Ben Allen off that screen and misses this one. That's the same spot he hit the last one from. And there's a whistle and a foul on the loose ball going against Indiana's A.J. Ratliff.
Vince, it's amazing the number of athletes that Mike Davis has been able to recruit to his team here the last couple years. And, you know, he talks about having a true point guard and a true post player for the first time in a long time. And with leadership and quickness and athletic ability and all of those kinds of things. But depth is one thing that he feels that his team is made of this year. They certainly are.
Mills trying to go baseline, finds Ames and whips it around to Brandon Lampley, who's just checked in. Now to Bass working on Killingsworth. Count it.
You love to see your big man take it hard to the opposing big man, and Charles Bass has done that tonight. You're going to see a nice feed pass. Charles does a good job drawing the foul, and that's one of his best offensive maneuvers right there to that strong right shoulder.
Couple of big left-handers working it down low. Yep. Now Bass steps to the free throw line. Offensive rebound for the Cardinals. Still can't convert. Saved in bounds, and the Hoosiers will have it.
Probably should have kicked in among the trees. Should have kicked it back out, reset the offense. And keep this defense alert. Not let Indiana have any big runs, and keep the hands up on the three-point shot.
Allen leans, can't get it. A couple of Ball State players fighting over it. Ames comes away and then bounced it off his foot. Callaway with the basketball. Callaway's from the same high school in Georgia that former Hoosier A.J. Moye attended. He played 1 year for Lou Henson at New Mexico State and then went to junior college. Taken away, and is there a whistle and a foul? It's a technical foul called on Indiana, I believe. Marco Killingsworth.
He did, Vince. I don't know if you noticed it or not, but anytime you make an official look bad, you say anything to him, it's a technical foul. Good help down inside right there.
Killingsworth got called for the foul on the reach, and then evidently, well, there you see it. He spoke in that tone of voice that officials do not like.
Mike's talking to him right there, too, and in his telling him, you cannot lose your cool like that. You're going to be double teamed. You're going to expect to get fouled. You cannot lose your front. You can't be frustrated.
Mills hits the first. He'll get another. Skip Mills, the junior from North Central High School in Indianapolis, was a teammate of A.J. Ratliff. Also Adam Alfeld, who's on the Indiana bench as well during their high school days for Coach Doug Mitchell at North Central. There's Killingsworth getting a seat after losing his cool.
That much this year, Vince, and the games have been able to watch. He's kept his cool. A lot of people come in there and hammered him. Very surprising.
Game is tied at 18, under 8 minutes to play. First half. Quickly on the ground goes Lewis Monroe to tie up Lampley, and a timeout. 7:45 to play first half. It's a good one. A sellout crowd on hand watching Ball State and Indiana.
Now, ladies and gentlemen.
If you haven't looked around Oak Express lately, then you're about to see some big changes. That's because Oak Express is more than just oak. We now feature woods in cherry, maple, pine, and more. And the styles, it's easy to see that our choices have grown too. From transitional to mission to contemporary and loft, Oak Express's traditional selection is anything but traditional. With all these new woods, new styles, and new looks, wouldn't you agree it's time to visit Oak Express? Oak Express, naturally better.
Having trouble with your car? Need answers to your car questions? Then get the answers to your auto repair questions from the pros at The Answer East. The Answer East offers Evansville's only free diagnostic check, and all of our technicians are ASE certified. When you have questions concerning your car and need answers, the one and only answer for auto repairs is at The Answer East.
Hi, I'm Rick Curtis, head basketball coach at the University of Southern Indiana. I had back pain and I needed immediate attention. I called Med First. In 3 days, I was back pain free. Injuries are costly. I have to have my players ready to go at all times. With one person down, we're not a full team. With the results I received from Med First, they are the first call we make for our players to get back on the court. Call the Med First relief team to get back on your game.
Tonight, rooting on their Cardinals. A sellout crowd on hand in Worthen Arena, 11,500. And a fair share of IU fans here tonight as well, but it is filled with red, that's for sure.
Not many are from IU, I tell you that, and it's great to see these students back. You know, they don't start class till a week from Monday, so to have them back present here is outstanding. They waited in line about a month ago to pick up their tickets prior to another home game earlier in the season, Vince, and they were very cheerful and couldn't wait for this New Year's Eve encounter to happen.
Well, they like the way this one's unfolding. Not only is the game tied as Acker shoots the three and misses, but Indiana's big man Marco Killingsworth is on the bench with 3 personal fouls. There's that technical. Sent him to the bench with the third. DJ White dribbling out of trouble will shoot the jump shot and miss it. Rebound pulled down by Perryman.
Not the kind of shot really that DJ White wants to take, especially with a hand in his face.
Acker, Ames, Bass, Payton, and Perryman on the court for Ball State. And there's Bass working that left-hand jump hook.
Yeah, they're doing a great job. Bass is coming through. He's got his touchdown tonight. He's saying, hey, I'm from Ohio State. I can play with you big boys.
Look at the field goal numbers. Faden. Sugar sweet.
Unbelievable. Boy, what a good-looking athlete he is. Great touch. Watched him warm up. He's phenomenal.
He does it all. He can score, he can rebound, he can defend, he can pass. Whatever is needed of him on a given night. Tim Buckley said he thinks Robert Vaden's one of the best all-around players in the country. Bass has it rejected.
Needs to show the ball a little bit in there now. Not let DJ White decide how he's going to shoot it, but fake him a couple times and he'll have a layup.
When that ball goes down to that low man in the post, Ball State rushes a double team. Vaden is there for another 3. And Tim Buckley wants to adjust his defense because Robert Vaden cannot be left alone beyond the 3-point line.
Well, Ball State did not do a real good job of knowing where Vaden was. They really prepped hard to find him when the ball gets kicked out from the low post back outside. And you can see, right, they just were confused as to who was going out. And didn't get there quick enough, and Vaden is able to knock it down. They're shooting so well because they really haven't had great defense in their face, not just tonight, but throughout the season, and that helps them to shoot that high percentage.
The Academy of Model Aeronautics, based in Muncie, is the world's largest sports aviation organization with more than 170,000 members. The AMA is open to anyone interested in model aviation. The National Model Aviation Museum, located at 5151 East Memorial Drive in Muncie, and you can learn more at modelaircraft.org. Bass feeds to Perryman. He tries to shuffle it under to Lampley, and it's into the cheerleaders. Turnover, Ball State. Cardinals have done a good job of taking care of the basketball, though. Just their 3rd turnover tonight. Indiana has given it away 6 times.
Rushed their offense there. Perryman just a little excited and didn't quite have a handle on the ball.
With Killingsworth on the bench, Indiana getting the ball in Vaden's hands every time down, and then they look to feed DJ White, and White is successful this time at drawing the foul. He'll go to the free throw line and shoot a couple.
DJ White is feeling a lot more comfortable now here in the last couple games since he's been away from it because of his foot. And what a great year he had last year, Player of the Year, and was a freshman All-American.
Big Ten Freshman of the Year. 64 blocks last season, set an IU freshman record. So much was expected of him this season, and then he suffered that broken left foot in the exhibition game against St. Joe on November 4th. Missed the first 5 games. Says the foot is feeling fine, but still working on the stamina, and he's going to get plenty of opportunity tonight, particularly with Killingsworth on the bench. Would presume the rest of the first half with 3 fouls. 5.5 minutes to play.
Well, Indiana putting a little half-court trap situation here on Ball State.
Couple of substitutions coming in for the Cardinals. Charles Bass is back, has 8 points so far. Chris Ames returns as well. Here comes Earl Callaway for the Hoosiers. Callaway, Vaden, Wilmot, DJ White, and A.J. Ratliff on the court for Mike Davis. Bass. Guarded well by White. Callaway quickly gets it to Vaden in transition. Just like that. 3 straight three-pointers for Vaden. Toss in a couple of DJ White free throws, and we've got a 10-0 run going for, well, making an 11-0 run for Indiana.
Well, this is the run you just got to really be careful of right here. Take better shots down here out of the offense. Ball State has to be more patient, not rush things. See, that right there was not the greatest shot in the world.
Bass and White get tangled up, where that's Wilmot underneath Bass. White just gets a piece of that ball to cause the shot to come short, and Bass called for over the back, and
Ball State foul.
Just lost their balance, both up. No issue there.
Wilmot gave him, the big fella, a bit of a ride. Charles Bass picking up his second foul.
When you play teams like this, Vince, it's really, really important that on offense, that you're efficient on offense. So Ball State's down to 35% field goal percentage now. They started out a whole lot better than that. Indiana's creeping up there to 48%. So you have to get good marks out of your offense because you're playing a good offensive team here, and you can't put that much pressure on your defense by taking off-balance shots or shots that are really not out of the offense. And I think Ball State's been a culprit of that 3 or 4 different occasions tonight.
The numbers on Wilmot at 15 points and 7 rebounds at Western Illinois, his best game of the season. Makes both free throws. IU on a 13-0 run the last 2 minutes and 15 seconds. It's an 11-point advantage. Ball State led 20-18, and since IU has gotten hot from beyond the arc, Robert Vaden has hit 3 3-pointers. DJ White and Roderick Wilmot have each added a couple of free throws. Ames holding the ball, guarded by Strickland. And now Adler faces Vaden. And Vaden's going to be called for the foul. Called for the hand check. Landon Adler, interesting story is, let's take a look at this. You talk about Indiana being on a 13-0 run in this game. Look at some of the runs the Hoosiers have put on their opponents in their 7 wins. A 24-9 run against Butler, a 16-0 run against Charlotte, the 19-7 run against Kentucky. Those are the last 3 games. But in each of Indiana's 7 wins, they've had a stretch where they dominated the game, and it allowed them to secure victory.
Well, I think that's why they've been so good, Vance. When we talked about it as in the open a lot, is that balance. Is whenever you have athleticism, you have a depth and a deep bench like Mike Davis has right now, and they have such great outside shooting and tremendous size inside that are powerful and can get things done in there. It really puts a bind on the opponent's defense, and here again, that's what causes the runs. All of those have been not just great outside three-point shooting, but they've had both inside and outside play. And that is, I'll tell you what, they got the kind of talent, Vince, they could get to the Final Four.
DJ White almost traveled. The fans moaning and groaning with the lack of whistle. Callaway and Vaden on the perimeter, and there's DJ White.
Good ball movement that time, good spacing, and well done by DJ White, and he delivered. Good pass in there by Robert Vaden. Not only is he an outside shooter, but he also is a good team player.
DJ White in double figures with 10. Wilmot steals it from Ames, gets it to Callaway, right back to Wilmot. The foul and the basket.
Again, getting very lazy on offense here and quick shooting, and that's causing that run we talked about.
Indiana on a 17-2 run, 3:33 left.
Simply put, Ford's year-end event is the best time to buy a new Ford. Save thousands on 2006 Ford vehicles during the final days of Simple Plan pricing. Save on the 2006 Focus. The price was $16,320. Now it's $14,082. You save over $2,200. Look for the Simple Plan price right on the window, and you can save over $2,200 on a 2006 Ford Focus. Hurry, Ford's year-end event ends January 3rd. See your local Ford dealer today.
Is he the guy you met off Private Line? Yes, and he's wonderful. It's really safe, and I had a lot of fun. I finally met my Mr. Right.
I've been looking for Mr. Right in all the wrong places. I haven't even found Mr. Maybe.
He's just a phone call away.
I'm calling tonight. Me too.
Get connected with local singles on Private Lines today.
Now, Allstate Office City makes buying affordable office supplies that much easier by introducing Quick Response online ordering and next-day delivery. You don't have to wait for affordable office supplies. At Allstate Office City, just call or go online and use the Quick Response office supplier, and we'll deliver to your doorstep the next day. And now, introducing janitorial supplies, from mops to paper towels, cleaning solutions, and more. With the tradition of yesterday and the technology of tomorrow, Allstate Office City truly is America's office supplier.
Indiana surging in front by 13 as the Hoosiers have scored 17 of the last 19 points, doing it with some defense here. Roderick Wilmot just takes it away from Chris Ames, and then not only does Ball State turn it over, but then they end up committing the foul and giving IU a three-point play opportunity.
Well, it's just been one mistake after another. About 3 minutes ago, 2 or 3 quick shots led to baskets, and Ball State hasn't figured out here, and I'm sure that the timeout, the coach has been talking to him. Take your time, run your offense, be efficient on offense, like Ball State did the first 12 minutes of the game, 13 minutes of the game. And then what happens, Vince, is it affects your rebounding and it affects the way you play defense, and that's what happened on that foolish foul down here.
Indiana's done it with defense this season as well as good shooting. We talked about their high shooting percentage, but in their most recent wins, their 3-game win streak, been holding their opponents to 31% from the floor. And Ball State under 35% so far here in the first half.
You get a good mixture of good defense, good offense.
Mills dribbles in, feeds Bass, who finishes.
Excellent ball movement there, and that's what Ball State needs to do each time down, and that's what the coaching staff, I'm sure, have mentioned to them, to settle down and run their offense the way they know how.
Bass has 10, first player in double figures for Ball State. Robert Vaden leads all scorers with a dozen. He has the basketball now. Vaden wants the pick from Allen, gets it, rises, and hits. Had his foot on the line, 2-pointer, but Robert Vaden is heating up. He has 14.
And had a hand in his face.
Mills off the screen. His shot has been off all night. Kept alive by Chris Ames. Good hustle by Ames. Acker takes it in. The 5'8" guard had a shot right at the bucket, but I think afraid the defenders would come over and gave it up.
Yeah, he should have scooped it up there because he had a layup, Vince. He made the right call. He overpassed that time.
When you get that deep, you got to shoot it, even if you are 5'8".
Yeah, shoot it from the hip. Shoot it from the hip.
Take one for all the little guys, right?
That's right.
If you get lucky enough to get in there, put it up. Mills again for 3, and again off the mark.
Mills has to get his jumper in line here.
Skip Mills 0 for 5 from the floor tonight. Take a look at the 3-point numbers Indiana with a 15-point advantage from three-point range. 4 of those 5 3-pointers have come from Robert Vaden. Ratliff finds Wilmot underneath, and he is fouled immediately. Chris Ames called for the personal.
Ball State did not communicate there on the screening situation, and they just miscommunicated and allowed Wilmot to get open, and a good pass down inside by the Hoosiers. Tim's not real happy with the way things are going right now, and again has to get them settled down offensively where they're getting some points each time and not turning it over, taking ill-advised shots.
Indiana coming off an 18-point win over Butler. The Hoosiers will open the Big Ten in their next game. That'll be Tuesday night at home against Michigan. Ball State's next game will also be its conference opener Wednesday here at Worthen Arena against Akron. Skip Mills initiated some contact, but the foul is going against Indiana. A.J. Ratliff called for it. There's 2 guys that have gone against one another quite a bit over the years. Former high school teammates. Like pretty good position there from Ratliff.
The Indiana coaching staff thought so.
Mills will shoot 1 and 1.
Get a couple of these free throws and play solid defense and get this lead down where it's only about inside of 10, Vince, before the end of the half. Would be a little momentum for the Cardinals.
Saw Eric Sewer come into the ball game for Indiana. His first action tonight.
Good little
junior from Bloomington North.
Good little floor leader.
Yep. Ball knocked out of the hands of Vaden. Last touched by Ames. So Indiana will get it. 27 on the shot clock. 1:31 remaining in the half. It was a close game until Indiana went on an 18-2 run to blow it open. And Vaden is on fire with another 3-pointer. Wow.
Well, Ames didn't do a good job of staying with him. He went behind the screen, and didn't fight over it. Give him a little room.
You can't give Robert Vaden any room. Mills will be called for the offensive foul this time. And Skip Mills will pick up his second.
I think you'll see the little elbow come out here as he makes the turn.
Almost could have been switched.
Yeah.
Could have had the charge the first time and the block the second time, but it all works out in the wash. Under a minute to go. Indiana by 16. Ball State just trying to stop the bleeding here before halftime. Last touch by the Cardinals. Hoosiers will keep it with 15 on the shot clock. And Mike Davis is going to take a 30-second timeout here before the half. Indiana scoring 82 points per game and beating opponents by about 17 per contest. And when I spoke with Tim Buckley on Friday, he was concerned about the balance of Indiana. Said 4 different guys could score double figures on any given night. They've got that inside presence in Killingsworth and DJ White, and then the perimeter game with the 3-point shooters. And I think maybe some of his worst fears have come to fruition here in the first half.
Vince, you're absolutely right. They average about 20 assists a game. And you see what a good passing team they are. It's just not a 3-point outside shooting team. They move the basketball in and out as well as anybody in the country.
Ball State Federal Credit Union serves more than just the employees of Ball State. The credit union offers membership benefits to alumni and others associated with Ball State University throughout the state. Ball State Federal Credit Union online at bsfcu.com. See what Mike Davis drew up during that 30-second break. Shot clock is winding down to 2, and Vaden has to hurry it up. White with the offensive rebound, draws the foul and gets it in. Well, I'm sure Mike Davis didn't draw it up quite that way, but it certainly worked out to Indiana's benefit.
Well, again, I watched Charles Bass. He did not stay. Didn't do a good job blocking out right there. He left DJ White and then was the culprit on the foul. See the missed shot here. You have to find your player right there. Not a good block out there on Wilmot. And then Charles Bass leaves DJ White. You can't do that on a shot attempt.
DJ White has missed all 3 of his free throw attempts this season. It's maybe the one weakness Indiana has. Not an outstanding free throw shooting team, just 69%. And Ball State not very good from the free throw line either, 61%. Acker drives it all the way in and couldn't get it down. White grabs the rebound, and we're into the final 15 seconds.
Again, those are kind of easy shots that you want to knock down against good basketball teams.
Vaden drives it in, can't get it to go. And Ball State will have one last desperation heave. And it goes! Skip Mills missed his first 5 shots from the field, and wouldn't you know it, the one that finally goes is a half-court heave at the buzzer. That, unfortunately, is about the only thing that has gone right for Ball State, however, in the final 10 minutes of this first half. Look at that, well beyond the half-court line. Skip Mills throws it in. 44-29, we're at halftime. Ball State down by 15 to the Indiana Hoosiers on the Ball State Sports Network.
Simply put, Ford's year-end event is the best time to buy a new Ford. Save thousands on 2006 Ford SUVs during the final days of Simple Plan pricing. Save on the 2006 Escape. The price was $26,550. Now it's $22,609. You save almost $4,000. Look for the Simple Plan price right on the window, and you can save almost $4,000 on a 2006 Ford Escape. Hurry! Ford's year-end event ends January 3rd. See your local Ford dealer today.
Hello, I'm Bob from Bob's Gym, and this is my family. And this is our Bob's Gym family. Welcome.
1, 2, 3, 4. At Bob's Gym, we've created an atmosphere that welcomes men and women of all ages, all shapes, and all sizes. We have one goal in mind, to provide the personal attention necessary to make you look and feel the best you can. With 2 convenient locations and the most advanced fitness equipment, isn't it time you joined the Bob's Gym family? Bob's Gym, fit for everyone.
Need extra cash? Fox 7 and McDonald's are giving away $200 every weeknight all year. Sign up, watch, and win with McDonald's and Fox 7.
Whoa, dude. You thinking what I'm thinking? Go. Going in.
Integrity. Pass it on.
Save the date.
A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
Still waiting for LASIK? Introducing personalized laser vision correction at the Ohio Valley Eye Institute, the only LASIK facility in the tri-state to offer 2 laser technologies, Custom View and Xioptics, for your personal best vision. Board-certified LASIK eye surgeon Dr. David Mallitz voted a Reader's Choice Award winner 2 years in a row, and Best of the Best is making LASIK more affordable than ever, with extended payments as low as $21 a month or 12-month 0% financing. Call today and schedule your free LASIK consultation.
Indiana with an 18-2 run surges ahead. Ball State down by 15. The Cardinals with a 3-pointer at the buzzer from well beyond the half half-court line. Vince Welch along with Jerry Pearson. Indiana shooting 53% from the field, holding Ball State to 34%. It's kind of been the theme for the Indiana Hoosiers this season. Those numbers jiving with just about every half of basketball it seems that they have played. But I guess something went right for Ball State right there at the end of the first half, Jerry, but it took them a long time to get there.
Well, it did, and Skip's been really off offensively. You see him get this rebound here and get the shot off in plenty of time. Maybe that'll give Ball State an understanding that they have to utilize their offense like they did in the first 10 minutes of the game. This is a great shot, but he's been off on his shot at the half court. That needs to improve. I know that Ball State's done a good job of getting shots in the paint, Vince. I think that especially early in their offense, but they took some off-balance shots and some shots where they should have kicked it back out and then started again in their offense. As a result of that, they missed them. It affected their defensive play down there, and I think that's what allowed Indiana to get that big run that they're used to getting.
Interestingly enough, Ball State has outscored Indiana in the paint here in the first half, 14-12. But Robert Vaden really got down to business with the three-point shot, hit 4 3-pointers in the late stages of the first half, and that sparked Indiana on the run. The Hoosiers on top of Ball State, the fans being entertained at halftime. Second half just ahead.
Every season is in season at your home team sports store, Gus Sterner Sports, and right now it's the end of shopping season, and that means big savings for the whole family. Show your true colors with team apparel and save 30%. 30% off on high school, college, and professional apparel of your favorite team. And what a great time to save on shoes. You can buy one pair and get the second pair at half price. That's right, half price. Shopping season is winding down at your home team sports store, Gus Sterner Sports. Located downtown Jasper and on Vogel Road between Burkhart and Green River Road, Gus Sterner Sports is the winning edge.
Simply our best holiday savings. There's still time for the best prices of the year on 2006 Ford products with Keep It Simple pricing. The price you see is the price you get, like a Ford F-150. The price was $29.40. Now the price is $22,992. That saves you over $6,000. Keep It Simple pricing is simply a better deal. But simply put, it all ends soon. Check it out today at FordVehicles.com and your local Ford dealer.
See the nation's premier events in sports like never before with ESPN HD and ESPN2 HD. That's incredible! You'll feel the action with high definition. The picture is clear with ESPN HD and ESPN2 HD. Once you're there, you'll never go back.
It's the best way to experience a game without buying a ticket. Call Sigacom today and order ESPN HD and ESPN2 HD. Sports so real, you'll swear you're there.
Arguing, shouting, screaming, pouting, blaming, doubting happens. But when it all gets to be a little too much, I happen.
Weekdays at 5 and 5:30 on Fox 7.
Is someone else's drinking affecting your life? Does it make you feel angry?
Don't yell at me because you're mad at your mom. She's the drunk, not me.
Why does Daddy have to drink so much?
No matter how you feel, we can help. We're Al-Anon Family Groups, and we know what it's like. Call 1-888-4-AL-ANON.
GM and Kelly's Northside Chevrolet are bringing you the Red Tag Sale. Sizzling hot deals below the red tag price. Over 50 new 2005s in stock that must go. New Avalanches with sizzling savings up to $10,000 off. Our pre-owned inventory is sizzling with deals like a 2005 Chevy Monte Carlo LS for only $11,880. We're selling below the red tag price. See red, save green. Our total value promised to you during the GM Sizzling Red Tag Sale. Going on now at Kelly's Northside Chevrolet, corner of Diamond and Heidelbach, Evansville.
17 points in the first half, and Indiana enjoying a 15-point advantage over Ball State. Vince Welch along with Jerry Pearson and Kevin Lee on the baseline. Kevin?
Thank you, Vince. We'll visit with Ball State assistant Jay Bryant to get his thoughts on the first half and some possible adjustments for the Cardinals coming up in just a few minutes, and also some other college basketball scores in just a moment. Well, homecoming is a fall tradition on college campuses across the country. There's another event that's also becoming a celebration here at Ball State. It's the Regional Emmy Awards. For more, here's the Ball State University halftime report.
Happy New Year from Ball State University. Ball State has much to cheer this holiday season, especially a $20 million grant from the Lilly Endowment that will be used to create innovative, immersive learning experiences for students interested in digital media and technology. A previous $20 million grant from the endowment allowed Ball State to build strengths in digital media research and content development. During the past 4 years, Ball State became the only university in the nation to win a Student Academy Award, a Billboard Digital Entertainment and Media Excellence Award, and Regional Emmy Awards. Many of the faculty and student projects that received those honors were either funded by or used equipment bought with the initial Lilly grant. The new grant will fund the creation of 3 new immersive learning institutes, where students and faculty will work with industry professionals in fields such as architecture, engineering, construction, 3D animation, and filmmaking. The university can also cheer the success of Drive to Distinction, a campaign to raise funds for the renovation and expansion of Ball State's football stadium. During homecoming weekend, Drive to Distinction Chairman John Fisher announced the completion of the campaign in just 1 year.
We've traveled many miles. We've talked to a host of people, and we've asked for a lot of money, and it's all been worth it. We started out looking for $12 million, and we've done it. In fact, we've done it so well that we've gone over our goal and have raised $13,630,611.
Upgrades to the stadium include synthetic grass, a larger press box and entertainment center with private boxes, and enhanced ticket offices, concession facilities, and restrooms. There will also be a brick and wrought iron exterior. The university also would like to include a video replay board in the final plans. Some of those changes will allow the university to use the stadium for more than football.
A good many individuals, families, alums, friends, businesses, and foundations were drawn to the campaign because of our intention to have the stadium become a focal point for community celebrations and events.
That was true of Paul and Pat Kozel, who gave $1.25 million to the campaign. The new press box will be named after them. The training facility will be named after Fisher and his wife Janice, not only for John's leadership of the campaign and their $510,000 gift to it, but also for their lifelong support of Ball State. The campaign's largest gift, $4 million, came from John and June Schumann. The university announced that in honor of the Schumann's generosity to the university, the football stadium
shall hereafter be named the John B. and June M. Schumann Stadium. Congratulations.
For more on these stories and other Ball State news, check out our website, bsu.edu.
Plenty of other college basketball on New Year's Eve. Just one other MAC game. Akron improves to 6-3 in the Big Ten. Ohio State came from behind to remain unbeaten, and Michigan improved to 10-1 with a win today in one other Big Ten game in progress. Ball State trailing Indiana 44-29 at the half. Stay with us. This is the Ball State Sports Network.
Having trouble with your car? Need answers to your car questions? Then get the answers to your auto repair questions from the pros at The Answer East. The Answer East offers Evansville's only free diagnostic check, and all of our technicians are ASE certified. When you have questions concerning your car and need answers, the one and only answer for auto repairs is at The Answer East.
Where'd you meet her?
On private lines. We have a lot in common. And you should see her play pool.
So, did you meet a lot of women?
I met a few. I talked to a lot, but Sherry and I really had a connection.
I'm tired of the same old faces. I need a change. I'm calling Private Lines.
It's the best call I ever made.
Get connected on Private Lines today.
My pot of gold, give daddy's little girl till heaven home.
It's easy to tell if you've had way too many. But what if you've had just one too many? Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Simply our best holiday savings. There's still time for the best prices of the year on 2006 Ford products with Keep It Simple pricing. The price you see is the price you get. Like Ford Explorer, the price was $38.45. Now the price is $26,149. That saves you over $4,600. Keep It Simple pricing is simply a better deal. But simply put, it all ends soon. Check it out today at FordVehicles.com and your local Ford dealer.
44-29 at the half here at Worthen Arena. I'm Kevin Lee with Cardinal assistant coach Jay Bryant. Well, you hung really well for a while. About 7 minutes left, up by 2. What happened then for the final 7 minutes?
Well, you're doubling down on the post. You got to rotate a little bit better. We let Baden open for a couple of threes, and that seemed to give them momentum and going. When he hits a couple of threes, you got to find him. He's hot right now. He's 5 for 5, and we got to find him. We got to stick with our plan.
He's hit 9 straight threes now. Now, on your side of things, how do you get Skip Mills more involved?
He's got to go with the flow. You just can't worry about getting the ball and do things on his own. We got to swing the ball, get it inside, get it outside, and then he'll get his touches and his points there.
Okay, good luck, Jay.
Thank you.
Jay Bryant, Ball State assistant coach. We get set for half number 2. Vince?
Well, and we're looking at DJ White, who also had a pretty solid effort in the first half, 5 of 7 from the field, had 12 points and 7 rebounds. And when Jay Bryant's talking about doubling down and then rotating back out, you've got to double down when you're dealing with a player like DJ White or Marco Killingsworth, although Killingsworth wasn't much of a factor in the first half. He's look at the first half statistics. Indiana shooting 53% from the floor, and Ball State 34%, and the Cardinals 1 of 4 from three-point range. IU scoring 18 points from beyond the arc, so a 15-point advantage in three-point shooting, and it's certainly been one of the keys for Indiana's success during the course of the season.
Well, as Jay says, when you take your one perimeter player and you double down, you have to rotate, you have to move when the ball's in the air and get there when they catch it, and then when they catch it, Vince, you can't be going for shot fakes. A couple times Baden did a great job of showing the basketball, the defender went by him, and then he had wide open threes. You have to be smart, close out under control, and not get carried away with that shot fake and get yourself out of position.
See some of the sellout crowd on hand tonight here at Worthen Arena. Indiana comes in for a New Year's Eve visit, second time in 4 years. These teams meeting for the 19th time. Ball State has won just once, and that was back in 1937. Been a long time ago. I wasn't here for that one, Jerry. How'd that game work out?
Yeah, you're real funny, man. Shame on you here on New Year's Eve talking like that. If you remember last year, Indiana got off to a great start, up by about 15 or so early in the game, and then Ball State for probably the last 30 minutes played them even and just got off to a bad start. Going to be really important here to get a good defensive stop here, get back into the game here slowly, and not again let Indiana get runs, get a hand up in your face, get back to their plan, as Jay said.
Killingsworth with the basketball. Remember, he had 3 fouls early in the first half, including that technical foul. DJ White with the turnaround. DJ White with 14 points, 6 of 8 from the floor. White on the court along with Callaway and Vaden and Strickland. Ball State has Maurice Acker, Chris Ames with the basketball now. There's Acker handling it. DeAndre Payton, Charles Bass, and Skip Mills.
Well, again, Indiana did a great job the last trip offensively of isolation. DJ White did an excellent job of turnaround jumper.
Mills, the one dribble and shot off the mark, and that's really what Jay Bryant was just talking about.
Yep.
Not necessarily a good shot. There's a couple of players tangled up. White and Payton tangled up underneath, and Ball State gets it on the turnover. Now Payton tries to finish at the offensive end and does. DeAndre Payton.
You're right, Vince did a good job of showing the basketball, and Killingsworth went flying through the air and missed it. Missed the block and was able to have an easy bunny.
Payton had 6 of Ball State's first 8 points, and that's his first basket since. Just underway, second half. Killingsworth turns, he's double teamed, kicks it back out to Vaden and around the perimeter to Strickland. Fouled by Mills. Skip thought he had his hands straight up, but a little contact with the elbows, and Strickland will go to the free throw line and shoot a couple.
Well, Skip didn't do a very good job of closing out and allowed Strickland to get around him a little bit, just about a half a body. That put him out of position, and then he tried to avoid the foul, instead fouled him instead, and not a good defensive play there by Skip Mills. He knows better than that. Just got beat.
Strickland playing his 101st game at Indiana tonight. 77th start. Had a career-high 25 points in the Hoosiers' season-opening win over Nicholls State. It's 1 of 2 from the stripe on that sequence, and it's a 16-point lead for Indiana. Bass spins in, throws it up off the mark, looked for the foul, didn't get it.
Okay, Bass has to extend up. Vince, he just didn't finish the play that time. He shot it down too low and didn't have good control of it.
Killingsworth tried the wraparound pass, bounced off the chest of DJ White, and Mike Davis over on the sideline imploring DJ to catch the basketball. Easier said than done sometimes.
Yeah, the timing was off on their offensive maneuver there. Good idea, but it's led him a little too much. Ball State still has to get their offense under control here. Trying to get Skip some more looks.
Mills needs some help. Lofts it over to Acker, who shoots the three and got it. Maurice Acker. Yeah, a little something shot in the arm to get this Ball State faithful back up on its feet here. And a foul immediately underneath as DJ White looked to turn to the basket.
Yeah, that was a good foul by Ball State defense. Ball State, here you see Peyton fall down and then allowed DJ to get in there open, and good recovery foul by the Ball State defense there, making good the line and earn 2.
DJ White was 2 for 3 in the first half at the free throw line, make it 3 of 4.
Like he's back full strength, I would say, Vince. He doesn't show any signs of any injury whatsoever, and has played just outstanding here tonight. 15 points so far, 8 rebounds, 6 out of 8 from the field, shooting the ball well from the free throw line tonight. Take a little rest here.
A.J. Ratliff into the contest for Indiana. Sure, Ratliff has some friends and family in the house tonight. Sophomore from Indianapolis.
State running a little offensive set here. See what they can get out of it.
Ratliff guarding Mills. Now down low is Ames drawing the foul.
Ball State giving Indiana a little bit of taste of their own offense. Posting up Ames down there. Did a good job of getting to the baseline, spinning up and drawing the foul. Needs to step to the line now and get 2 free throws. Get this lead down to 13 and get stronger down here defensively and get 2 or 3 stops to get themselves back into this thing.
Ames, a junior from Jackson, Mississippi, came from southeastern Illinois. Junior college. Took that club to the junior college Final Four, so he's played in some big games. Outstanding defensive player. Doesn't do a lot offensively in regards to numbers, but can really guard you. Good on both free throws.
Very vocal, good leader out there for Ball State. Really gets on guys. Very active in practice. He's been an asset to Ball State's program.
Callaway on the dribble up top. Strickland. Good 3-point shooter. Stead gets it back to Callaway, and now Strickland handles it again. Vaden, who had the hot hand in the first half, had 17 points in the first half. Killingsworth wants the turnaround, drew the contact, and he'll go to the foul line. And if that's Bass, that would be his 4th.
You called it, Vince. It was on Bass. Left his feet. Didn't you see a good job there of Marco Killingsworth getting down position? Does a good job of getting him up in the air. And one of the best in the country at getting good position down low. Just has a knack of doing that. And you have to give Indiana's offense a lot of credit. They do a good job of passing the ball around the perimeter to get him in position to be able to get an advantage on the defense. when you swing the ball as quickly as Indiana does it, it really makes it difficult for the post positions to move and change position.
Killingsworth, just a 59% free throw shooter. As you see Bass go to the sideline with 4 fouls, and with 16:45 left, could be a long seat.
Tommy Howland coming in there. He had a good first half. Good block out and rebound there by the big fella.
Hacker quickly to the offensive end, loses control momentarily, and now almost throws it away. Mills is bumped trying to catch it, and Robert Vaden is going to be called for the foul.
Indiana foul, 24, Robert Vaden.
You know, Indiana through 9 games last year, Jerry, was 3-6. This year, 7-2. And you look at some of the differences in their statistics and what has maybe led to the turnaround. Last season, Indiana shot 42%. This season, 54% through 9 games as the Cardinals turn it over. Last season through 9, Indiana was getting out-rebounded by 6 boards a game. This season, they're out-rebounding opponents by 6 per game.
I have to chuckle about a comment that Mike Davis said. He says, when I think about post players, I can't help but smile. It will be an experienced and deep front court which can wreak havoc on the opponents. And have they ever so far this season?
Callaway, the jump shot. Off the mark, Killingsworth rebounds for Indiana. And now that's going to be a traveling violation against the big fella.
Excellent call down on the baseline by J.D. Collins. He's right on top of it. And there was a little hot move by Marco to try to get an advantage on the defense. Didn't work that time because he shuffled his feet.
That's the 9th turnover for Indiana. Remember, the Hoosiers had 6 early in the game. So to have just 3 more in that stretch, they've taken care of the basketball much better. Under 16 minutes to play in the game. Ball State down by 14. Chris Ames guarded by Strickland, and now Mills hasn't gotten hot, but there's a nice open look.
Only down 12 here, Vince. They're just kind of creeping back a little bit. They get Indiana a little lull here and keep the defense active.
Skip Mills has 9. Traveling. Up, Callaway drug the pivot foot. And we've got a timeout. 15:31 to play in the game. Mike Davis's Indiana Hoosiers on top by 12 on the Ball State Sports Network.
Cardinal Varsity Club helps support over 400 student athletes in 19 sports, and their hard work is paid off with Mid-American Conference championships, NCAA tournament appearances, and new athletic facilities. Ball State ranks in the top 10 among all NCAA Division I schools in student athlete graduation rates and the number of GTE academic All-Americans. It's easy to join Cardinal Varsity Club and help student athletes continue to excel.
It was always my dream to teach college biology. The fact that I get to continually do research and teach at the same time is amazing to me. I never tire of learning or teaching. At Ball State, we're encouraged to work closely with students. That's the best part of all. There's nothing better than seeing a student grow.
Dr. Carolyn Vann is a respected professor and DNA researcher. Academic excellence at Ball State University.
Oh, what a difference you made in my life.
Every business has a story, a message, a reason to communicate. WIPB Corporate can give life to the story, help illustrate the message, clarify the point. PB Corporate provides video solutions for businesses and organizations. WIPB Corporate, full-service video production. Take your message to the next level.
Indiana still shooting better than 53% from the floor. Ball State's at 38% from the field. And you look at the Ball State Cardinals, what they're trying to do after being down 15 at the half. Trying to cut into that, and they have done that. Down to 12. They can whittle away at that deficit, get it to within 10, and maybe get something done over the course of the final 10 minutes.
Stay really focused on the defense. Indiana doesn't seem to be offensively really in any kind of real good rhythm right now. Coming out of the defense here, out of the timeout with a 2-3 zone.
Indiana's turned it over 4 times here in the second half. Ball State has given it away just once. Eric Sewer back into the ball game for IU, seeing his first action here in the second half.
Need to be patient here and get a good look at the basket.
Mills and Ames work the perimeter. Mills has it on the dribble. Howland wants it inside, gets it, and almost had the look, but A.J. Ratliff came from the weak side and rejected it. Great defensive play from Ratliff.
And there's a great pass down inside, too, because Howland had cut, was open. Probably needed to show the basketball, but still was a good play by Ball State.
Lob pass into Killingsworth, draws the contact and finishes.
That's just how good he is. You see them really looking down inside. He spins. He just has such a difficult job of not allowing him to get his body into you. You have to stay away from him and not let him get contact, and that's very tough to do with a good player in there. Has excellent feet, Vince. His footwork is outstanding there, and that's what enables him to position himself so well against the defense.
He and DJ White both have a fine ability to be able to control the basketball after drawing the contact, to be able to get it up toward the basket.
Exactly.
Free throw was missed but knocked out of bounds by Ball State, so the Hoosiers will get it back. 14-point advantage.
Just can't go to sleep here defensively. Just got to keep hanging in there and get some stops.
Ball State's been allowing opponents just 56 points a game this season, and IU already with 52 with 14 and a half to play as the Hoosiers turn it over. Vaden's pass a little too long for Killingsworth, and that's the 5th turnover this half for Indiana.
Vaden floated the basketball too much instead of zipping it in there, and because he floated it, the timing was off. Killingsworth was back on his heels, couldn't get to the pass. He needs to get a little more zip on the ball throwing it in there.
Mills tripped up by Strickland. That'll be the 3rd team foul on Indiana here in the second half. Here comes Pat Nelson, a 6'10 freshman from Rockford, Illinois. His first action for Ball State tonight, giving Tom Howland a breather. And Howland has to go to Nelson because Bass is on the bench with 4 fouls, and Howland needs a breather. You got to come with somebody big, and Nelson's the choice.
Yeah, and you have Anthony Kinn, who hasn't seen action yet, who played a lot last year, Vince. So Pat Nelson was playing earlier in the year, and Howland was sitting. So we got a lot of big guys to go to. Just have to play solid there and not lose it.
Offensive foul against Acker. Got underneath the bucket, had nowhere to go with it.
Yeah, he left his feet.
When you leave your feet under the bucket on the baseline, the list of things that can happen, most of them are bad.
They're not good. They're not good. And look who took the charge. Who gave up himself to maybe even get this 4th foul on him, but took the charge and was able to get the call. And it was a well executed defensive play.
Wilmot is open for 3. Short. Nelson rebounds.
Good block out by Nelson that time on DJ White.
13 and a half minutes. Shot fake by Mills, but Ratliff recovered and got a hand on it. Here comes Eric Sewer pushing it up. Stolen by Ames. Nelson wasn't expecting it. Ratliff to Wilmot. No, they're going to wipe the basket off. A charging foul on Ratliff prior to the shot.
Excellent defensive play there by Ball State. They had the numbers that time, and Indiana didn't execute it very well.
Well, this was a interesting sequence. Nelson wasn't expecting it, so Ball State turned it over on one end, and Ratliff didn't stop, kept on the run, and as the coaches say, stop at the free throw line and then make the pass.
Pass and move sideways. Pass and move sideways. Pass and stop. But then Mike told him as soon as it happened. Good defensive play by the Cardinals. Not a good pass in there by Ames into Nelson. He wasn't ready for it. He threw it down low to him. It's a tough pass for a big guy to catch.
Brandon Lampley into the ball game now, giving Acker a breather. Nelson up top, and now Lampley handles it. Jelon Perryman is in for Ball State as well. Mills draws some contact. The shot was short, and Ratliff rebounds.
You know, off balance, that last 2 shots Mills taken have been pressured shots, not shots really that are the kind of shots are high percentage kind. Ball State can get better out of their offense than that. When we get it into good shooters' hands, we want to do it in a balanced situation.
Vaden guarded by Perryman, and Robert Vaden just faces up and knocks down the 12-footer. Vaden with 19, his first basket here in the second half.
6 out of 9 from the field.
12 minutes and counting. Indiana and Ball State. The Cardinals trying to get a huge win that would propel them with some serious momentum into the conference season, while Indiana trying to win its 4th straight as it heads to the Big Ten opener against Michigan. IU by 16 over Ball State.
Ball State Federal Credit Union is now connected to the Credit Union Service Center network. Members can access their accounts at more than 800 credit unions in Indiana and across the country, and locations are being added every day. Members of Ball State Federal Credit Union can make withdrawals, deposits, account transfers, or many other transactions at participating network branches. Locations can be found on their website. Another reason to be a member of Ball State Federal Credit Union. Proud to support Ball State Athletics.
Attorney William Wells for Financial Services Law Practice. There's good news about the new federal bankruptcy law. The law is so awful that many states have passed new bankruptcy legislation of their own to make the law less harsh. And remember, we still guarantee our attorney's fees for a Chapter 7 bankruptcy to be less than all other attorneys in your area. Call us toll-free, 866-349-8530.
It was sad. It was like...
It's easy to tell if you've had way too many. But what if you've had just one too many? Buzz driving is drunk driving.
This portion of Ball State basketball is sponsored by Cardinal Varsity Club, helping Ball State student athletes on the court and in the classroom. Ball State University, it's everything you need. And WIPB Corporate.
Ball State down 16 to Indiana with 11:50 to play here in the second half. A.J. Ratliff going to the bench for the Hoosiers with his 4th foul. Look at his numbers tonight. Of course, had that big game against Kentucky, and really the only big game he's had so far this season. But 21 points in the second half of that game against the Wildcats. That was a huge victory for Indiana and began a 3-game win streak for the Hoosiers, and they're trying to stretch it to 4 here tonight. Mills, a little shake and bake against Strickland, and the Cardinals whip it around the perimeter. Perryman on the dribble. Nelson wants it down on the block, but Mills decided not to. Now Nelson gets it to Payton, and DeAndre Payton showing some more offense. He's in double figures with 10.
Only down 14. Good patience that time offensively. Ball State dropped back into their 2-3 zone here to try to keep Indiana in check. He's got to know where the 3-point shooters are.
Strickland came into this game as Indiana's leading 3-point shooter, but Vaden has been extremely hot from 3-point range, so he has hit the most 3-pointers, but Strickland just knocked down his 21st.
When you get in that 2-3 zone, you really have to move quickly when the ball's in the air, and Ball State was very lax in getting that done, and then when you get the ball in the hands of a good shooter, he's going to rise up and shoot it. But you got to move when the ball is not touched by anybody, and that's one of the fallacies of a 2-3 zone that gets you in trouble sometimes.
Marco Killingsworth just picked up his 4th foul, so the big fella going to the bench. So Ball State has its big player, Charles Bass, on the bench with 4. IU has its big one on the bench in Killingsworth with 4. Howland, the jump hook off the mark. Mills rebounds, blocked by White, and a whistle and a foul.
Good aggressiveness there out of the Ball State offense on the board play. Good job by Skip Mills getting inside there. Good little jump hook here by Tom Howland. Skip gets good position there, takes it right back up and gets hammered by DJ. Good job there by the 6'3" athlete.
Actually, they called that foul on Robert Vaden from behind, but so that'll be number 3 on Vaden and the 7th team foul on Indiana. So Mills misses the first, gets a second opportunity. There's Payton going to the bench. He's had a good game tonight. 5 of 9 from the floor, 10 points, a couple of rebounds. Ames comes for the Cardinals. Mills goes to get a breather. Ball State with some full court pressure here with 10:30 to play in the ball game. Cardinals down by 16, and if you're going to make a run, Jerry, you better make it and make it soon.
Yeah, you need to. A little 2-2-1, falling back into the 2-3 zone. A little change of defense. I like that out of the made free throw situation. That's a good zone to be in. Good thing to fall back into the zone.
Eric Sewer fell down on the dribble, and then Maurice Acker went to try to get it from him and ran right over the top of him. The foul's called on Acker. It's the second on Maurice.
Maurice is glad to see a guy in there about his size that you know, he feels comfortable guarding.
Sewer and Acker both at 5'8". Neither one of those players are on the court with someone their size very often unless the trainer is out there with them. White double teamed, gets it to Vaden. He needs some help. Sewer shoots the 3. Kept alive, and he ends up getting the loose ball.
Yeah, you got to get those rebounds, especially in that 2-3 zone. You got to get the loose balls. That's how you get back into games like this. Can't give Indiana the second shot. Just see what happens.
And you can't give Sewer too many open looks. That was double figures in the first 3 games for Indiana this season, so he can shoot it. And most importantly, Ball State just got to take advantage of every missed shot. And there's another turnover for Indiana. Cardinals need to capitalize here as we're approaching the 9.5-minute mark. Ball State now starting to have to work against the clock as Jelon Perryman misses the long-range shot. Sewer rebounds and gets it to the offensive end for Indiana.
Yeah, that shot, I mean, Perryman can make that shot, but just came a little too quick out of the offense. I think you can get a little better than that, and Ball State's done that. Got to keep this defense active, keep your hands working, try to get another turnover or 2.
Count it, and the foul after the 3-point shot. Marshall Strickland knocked down the 3 and takes the contact afterwards. Take a look.
Second foul on Adler, 17th foul on Ball State.
Adler, that's just inexperience right there. Adler knows better than that. You got to let him come down on the shot, Vince, and then get a body to them, but not in the action of the shot. But builds that lead up for Indiana.
Strickland with back-to-back 3-pointers. He makes that a 4-point play now. And the lead is the largest of the night. 20 points for Indiana. 9 minutes to play in the game. DeAndre Payton rolls it around the iron. Can't get it. Ames tries for it. Last touched by Ball State. Indiana will get the basketball. Ames and Roderick Wilmot were fighting for it.
Stepped on that baseline down there.
Indiana can afford to be patient offensively now with a 20-point lead, and we're under 10 minutes to play. Ball State is in a zone. DJ wants it inside. He's got it. Plays the little inside-outside game with Roderick Wilmot. A good pass from Vaden to Strickland. Strickland's going to get the basket, but Robert Vaden's the one that made that possible with a great pass, and it was a quick touch pass, and 3 straight 3-pointers for Marshall Strickland.
Vaden does a good job of playing outside, but then after he gives it up, he goes in and hangs around at the high post area, which is a vulnerable place. Right there, you see it. That's a vulnerable place against the 2-3 zone, and was able to kick it out there, and Ball State couldn't get out to recover against Radliff. So great movement offensively there with the zone offense for Indiana.
Indiana shoots 48% from 3-point range. That's #1 in the nation. Tonight, they're even better. 60% from beyond the arc. The Hoosiers are 9 of 15 from three-point range. Indiana shooting 56% from the floor, and Ball State 34%. And those are the numbers that really Indiana opponents have had to deal with throughout much of this season. Take a look at games coming up for, first of all, for Indiana. They'll open up the Big Ten schedule at home against Michigan on Tuesday. It's been a long time since IU's been at home. The Hoosiers haven't played at Assembly Hall in quite a while. They'll follow that up with Ohio State. Ohio State won a thriller over LSU by just a basket earlier today. Michigan State, Illinois, that'll be a big one. And of course, it's always big when the Purdue Boilermakers are in town. So that's what is facing Indiana in the weeks ahead. Let's check in quickly with Kevin Lee.
Vince, I'm with Tom Collins, the new athletic director. Actually, hasn't started. Will in about a week and a half here at Ball State after coming over as an associate athletic director at Arizona State. What attracted you to Ball State, Tom?
I think just the stature of the university itself, the president, Dr. Joanne Gora, and the fact that Ball State, I think, really has the concept of the student-athlete in mind. And you're in a terrific conference in a terrific city, and all my mentors all spoke very highly of Ball State University. It made it very attractive for me to look at it.
What are your first goals to get accomplished here?
I think the first thing I need to do for the first 30, 60, 90 days is watch, listen, and learn. I think that's the first thing I need to do is just come in and understand what's going on, understand why it's going on, understand the culture here at Ball State University, and then we'll start to implement the plans to move ahead.
We're happy to have you. Best of luck.
We're happy to be here. Happy New Year.
Tom Collins, the new athletic director here at Ball State.
Thank you, sir.
Maurice Acker shooting the three-pointer out of the timeout. It's off the hands of one of the Indiana players as it went to the out-of-bounds line. We're going to have a television timeout here with just under 8 minutes to play. Indiana in control, up 23 over the Cardinals.
3 calls a day, every night at dinner.
I started swearing at one of those collectors once, and my daughter started crying.
You've been there, haven't you? Credit cards, bill collectors, nothing but pressure.
Well, those days are over. Capital O-V-E-R.
Call Free in 5 now. We'll work with your creditors and try to get your interest reduced and penalties eliminated. We pay all your creditors. You make just one payment to us every month, and you'll still have money left over. They'll stop calling you, and you'll be free of credit card debt in 5 years or less.
I was not going to declare bankruptcy. I was not.
Like many people, you can be $15,000 in debt, $20,000. In 5 years or less, you can have no credit card debt, and you can do it the right way without going bankrupt.
Do you know how nice it is to have a future? I should have done this years ago.
So call Free in 5 now and start getting out of debt today.
Call 1-800-413-6580. Call now.
Master Sergeant Al Lindsay here in Southwest Asia. I'm like to say happy holidays to my wife Krista, all my friends there in Evansville, Indiana, all the firefighters, and have a happy holiday and Merry Christmas.
Sergeant Belinsky Toussaint from FOB Iraq. I just wanted to wish a happy holidays to my daughter Heaven.
My name is Michael O'Neill Harmon. I'm serving in Bagram, Afghanistan, and I'd like to say happy holidays to all my family in Calhoun and Owensboro, Kentucky.
Fighting an uphill battle over the final 8 minutes, 7:57 left. Ball State down 23. For the big job or the do-it-yourself home improvement, A Rental Service Company in Muncie can help with tool rental for any size job. Steel chainsaws, trimmers, blowers, sales and service, all at A Rental Service Company. Proud to support Ball State basketball. Been a tough night for Skip Mills, the Ball State leading scorer, 2 of 10 from the floor. Has 10 points, averages 19 per game.
Yeah, I think Skip just needs to get it out of the offense a little bit more. Trying to force it too much, and that's affected his percentage.
Spins in, draws some contact, and we'll go to the free throw line. Both teams in the bonus the rest of the way.
No, it is good, though, Vince, when you look at the stat sheets, you know, you have Bass with 10, Payton with 10, Mills with 10. Mills has been averaging 19, but everybody else is down 5, 6, 7. So at least there's a couple other guys in double figures there. They just have to get it together at the same time that Mills gets his average, and Ball State hasn't been able to do that. But you have to give credit to the defense of Indiana. You know that they're going to come in, and one of their plans was obviously to attack Skip Mills and keep him down below his average. They've done a great job of that so far in the game, and that's helped them get to this 22-point lead.
Mills hits both. Earl Callaway has come back in for Mike Davis and the Hoosiers. Callaway, Vaden, DJ White, Marshall Strickland, and Roderick Wilmot. Charles Bass is back for Ball State. Remember, Bass playing with 4 fouls along with Payton, Ames, Mills, and Acker.
Good job. Ball State did exactly what they practiced on this week. That's the way they want to guard the post area, and you can't double up. You put the post guy and Vaden on the same side, makes it difficult to help out with Vaden.
Oh, the easy. Oh, and Wilmot missed the layup. Wide open.
I think he wanted to dunk it and didn't realize how open he was.
DJ White blocks that shot attempt by Skip Mills. I'm not sure Wilmot could believe he had that clear path to the basket.
I think he got through his timing off, and then he couldn't decide whether to dunk it or bank it, and didn't do either one.
He'll go to the free throw line and shoot a couple.
Good job of swinging the ball, getting it down in there to Payton, and you know, he's hit that turnaround jumper and drew the foul that time. Did a good job. It's pretty good offensive movement there by the Ball State Cardinals.
Speaking of DeAndre Payton, the Cardinals certainly miss another Payton Stovall. There's a look at the junior guard from Lafayette sitting there on the bench. Had his knee surgery on Tuesday. Dr. Bob Hagan. Everything went very well. But certainly a huge loss for the Cardinals. Not only the top returning player for Ball State, but the top returning player in the Mid-American Conference. And when you lose that kind of player from your lineup, it leaves a big hole, and the Cardinals have been struggling to fill it.
Vince, he's the best point guard in the conference. There's no doubt about that. And I think he was in double figures, 13, 14 last year when they played IU. And you're right. A lot of people don't understand how difficult it is to remold your team whenever you lose your starting point guard and outstanding athlete that Payton Stovall happens to be. He'll be a good cheerleader on the bench, though, however, throughout the MAC season.
Well, he's been serving in some ways as a coach on the bench there for Ball State. Certainly can relate to the players because he is one, and also forced to relate to the coaches now in a coach's role as he sits there next to them. But no question, that is a huge loss for Ball State, a loss that the Cardinals will feel throughout the course of this season. Marco Killingsworth back on the court now for Indiana with those 4 fouls as DJ White goes to the bench. 6.5 minutes to play in the game. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Skip can't buy one. Bass rebounds, draws contact, and if that's on Killingsworth, he's going to have a very short stay on the court. Yeah. It is, and that is number 5. He had came on the court for 7 seconds. Picked up that 5th foul, gave the official a nice glare as he heads to the sideline. Marco Killingsworth leaving with 7 points and 7 rebounds.
Yeah, not the kind of night that you expect out of him, but I'm telling you what, he does a lot of good things, and White's been a good backup for him. And playing together, they're a tough tandem. I think he's going to do a lot in the Big Ten.
You know, I think if Tim Buckley would have been told before the game, hey, Marco Killingsworth's going to be in foul trouble most of the night, score just 7 points and have 7 rebounds, I think Buckley's going to feel pretty good about his chances. But those other Indiana players have really stepped up. DJ White with 16 points and 9 boards. And I think the player of the game, Robert Vaden, who had 17 in the first half, just 2 points here in the second half. But he was key in that big Indiana run that blew the game open.
Well, that's right, Vince, and that's what did blow the game open. As Ball State struggled in their offense and was impatient down there, Vaden got hot. It affected the way Ball State reacted. They didn't get back out to him as quickly as they needed to, and that's what built this lead. And you know, it stayed pretty much that way here throughout the game now.
Ball State's missed 4 straight free throws. Free throws have been a problem for the Cardinals at times this season. Not a good free throw shooting team from a percentage perspective, just 61%. The Cardinals have shot 50% or less at the free throw line 3 times this season. Indiana with 3 on the shot clock. No problem for Vaden.
give him a little space. And, you know, again, Payton stayed back a little bit, didn't get up as close as he needed to, and that just gave Baden an opportunity to shoot over his hand. Great athlete. Really impressed with him.
He's 6 of 6 from three-point range tonight. Ball State hasn't scored in 5.5 minutes. There's Charles Bass breaking the drought. Well, a couple of players down on the sideline or on the inline, including DeAndre Payton and Sanzere requesting that the trainer Tony Cox come down to the inline.
I don't know, we got Need in the side, or just his Swad's kind of holding his side as he went down, so seems to be okay.
Fans, Ball State basketball will return to Worthen Arena on Wednesday as Akron will visit.
The Ball State Cardinals will play next on Wednesday against Akron. That'll be the Mid-American Conference opener. And when the conference season rolls around, you know you're going to get busy, and you'll see the game on the 4th against Akron and the 8th at Ohio. Boy, Ohio came within an eyelash of beating Kentucky last night. Should have beaten Kentucky, but did not. Ball State at Kent on the 11th, and then against the Miami Redhawks, the old rival, on the 14th. So some important games coming up. Of course, they're all important in the conference schedule, no matter what league you play in, whether it's the Big Ten or the Mid-American Conference. When it's league time, the games carry a little more significance.
Well, they do, and you talked about IU's schedule earlier, and now here Ball State schedule. Both teams are going to start the conference out against teams that are really picked up high in both conferences. And so the first two and a half weeks of the season is going to really identify both basketball teams as to what kind of threat they're going to be in terms of a Big Ten or a MAC championship.
Scotty's Brewhouse is the pregame or postgame destination for Ball State basketball. Scotty serves up lunch and dinner, complemented with 70 styles of beer. Plus, they have all the big games on satellite. For menus, events, gift cards, and more, it's Scotty'sBrewhouse.com. Scotty's Brewhouse. We'll be hopping tonight after the game here in Muncie.
Be a lot of places hopping in Muncie, Vince.
It's New Year's Eve.
Make sure
you'll be hopping everywhere.
Yeah, you drive home safely tonight and be back there with your family and some friends and have a good New Year celebration.
67-45, Indiana on top of Ball State. Players of, you see DeAndre Payton being tended to by Tony Cox over on the Ball State side, and now Indiana will inbound the basketball with 5:19 to play. Ben Allen, freshman from Australia, on the court, along with Strickland and Callaway, Vaden, and Ratliff for Indiana. There's Strickland netting another three-pointer.
Well, they're unbelievable.
His fourth three-pointer here in the second half. Whistle and a foul against Callaway. Earl Callaway, the only junior college player that Mike Davis has brought into the IU program since he's been the head man. Maurice Acker at the free throw line for the Cardinals. Anthony Kent and Charles Bass, along with Skip Mills and Chris Ames, on the court for the Cardinals. When you can see DeAndre Payton still hurting. Acker is a player that was maybe going to get 10 to 12 minutes a game, as you see Jim Dench come in, the freshman from Germany. Some mop-up duty tonight. But Acker, you thought maybe would get 10, maybe 12 minutes a game playing behind Peyton Stovall. And instead, he's getting 25 plus a night. Played 36 minutes against Drexel in the Cardinals' most recent game.
Getting better and better, too. Pick it up.
Foul called on Indiana. Dench is going to be called for the personal. Let's check in with Kevin Lee. Kevin?
DeAndre Payton is shaken up. He landed on his wrist, but mostly he's dealing with getting the wind knocked out of him. Sore right now, but otherwise okay. He's available to go back in anytime Tim Buckley summons him.
Well, that's good news. The Cardinals can ill afford any more injuries, that's for sure.
And he's done a nice job of down in the post area there on Ball State's offense, shooting that turnaround jumper, made some rebounds, and really hasn't had 10 points, 2 rebounds tonight, 0 for 2 from the line, but at least he's got some production out of it.
Allen back in as Charles Bass goes to the bench, maybe for the last time tonight, leaving with 12 points and 6 rebounds, still 4:45 to play. Kent misses again. Well, Ball State 13 of 21 from the free throw line.
Yeah, it just has to get better.
Maurice Acker called for the hand check on Callaway.
Ball State foul number 3, Maurice Acker. Third foul on Acker.
When your team struggles in areas, you're missing one of your top players, your margin of error just gets smaller and smaller and smaller, and that's where I think free throws, Jerry, quite frankly, play a big role. You can't afford to miss free throws when you have no room for error in the other parts of your game.
Yeah, and Vince, they chart free throws every day in practice, and you know, they're shooting 75 to 82, 83% every day in practice. So it's a matter of transforming those practice shots into game opportunities and feeling comfortable up there when you go up to shoot the free throws. I really believe Ball State's better shooters than that. It's just a matter of being comfortable and going up there with confidence and knowing that you're going to make it, believing you're going to make it.
Indiana fans giving Robert Vaden a nice round of applause as he leaves the game with 22 points, the game's leading scorer at this point anyway. Eric Sewer and A.J. Ratliff back on court for the Hoosiers. The whistle and a foul going against Ball State as Strickland goes to the floor. Chris Ames whistle for the personal. That'll be number 4 on Ames.
Well, Anthony Kent and Ball State's big guys, they have to get down low and get themselves spread out so that the defense can't reach over the top and deflect those kind of passes. It was a bounce pass down in there low, and they just have to get bigger and start playing tougher and stronger, Vince, and finishing plays. As the MAC season gets ready to roll, Ball State's going to have as much size as anybody in the league, but you have to play tough and aggressive in the conference, especially on the road. And Ball State's going to get a good test against Ohio on a week from Sunday, week from tomorrow.
Ten of the 13 active players on the Ball State roster are playing in their first season at Ball State. And Jerry, you coached for a long time. Anytime you have that kind of turnover and that kind of new blood into the program, there's bound to be some adjustment period, and that's not an easy transition to make.
It's not, Vince. It's very difficult, and they're still trying to find their identity. You know, they're trying to get new. It's new. The little guy makes one right there. New roles and demands of the situations that they're not used to out of high school or junior college. And when you're on that floor and you've been away from it for a while, new coaching staff, and you take your one of your best athletic point guards away, it's a new learning process, and you got to go with a freshman point guard.
Strickland knocks down the two-pointer. Well, he's coming alive here in the second half. 18 points. 4 of 6 from three-point range, and Skip Mills comes back for the Cardinals. Mills now with 14.
Just want to keep your aggressiveness now and try to finish this game off. And
Eric Sewer. Indiana shooting the lights out.
58%.
And even better, Jerry, from three-point range, 65% from three-point range tonight.
You know, that's one of the things that Ball State coaching staff was hoping, that they'd come in here and those baskets wouldn't be as welcome to them, but it hadn't happened.
Acker misses the three. Sewer landed on him, but no whistle. 2:40 to play in the game.
Tim's saying he knocked him down. I didn't see what happened there, but no foul was called. It's a moot point now anyway.
Indiana by 27 with 2:25 to play in the ball game. Dench on the dribble, takes it all the way in and then missed the layup.
Yeah, that's one he probably wished he'd have slammed.
Dench not used to being out on the floor. He's had 7 DNPs this season, 6 in a row, but he's getting some action tonight. Ball State will go to the free throw line when we come back from this break. 2:04 to play. IU on top.
Every season is in season at your home team sports store, Gus Turner Sports, and right now it's the end of shopping season, and that means big savings for the whole family. Show your true colors with team apparel and save 30%. 30% off on high school, college, and professional apparel of your favorite team. And what a great time to save on shoes. You can buy one pair and get the second pair at half price. That's right, half price. Shopping season is winding down at your home team sports store, Gus Turner Sports. Located downtown Jasper and on Vogel Road between Burkhart and Green River Road, Gus Turner Sports is the winning edge.
GM and Kelly's Northside Chevrolet are bringing you the Red Tag Sale. Sizzling hot deals below the red tag price. Over 50 new 2005s in stock that must go. New Avalanches with sizzling savings up to $10,000 off. Our pre-owned inventory is sizzling with deals like a 2005 Chevy Monte Carlo LS for only $11,880. We're selling below the red tag price. See red, save green. Our total value promised to you during the GM Sizzling Red Tag Sale. Going on now at Kelly's Northside Chevrolet, corner of Diamond and Heidelbach, Evansville.
Right now, over half our suits and sport coats are on sale, plus hundreds of pants, sweaters, shoes, shirts, and outerwear, 20 to 50% off. Now that's a sale. I guarantee it.
Open to your stay.
Need extra cash? Fox 7 and McDonald's are giving away $200 every weeknight all year. Watch Fox 7 every weeknight at 6 and 9 to see if we draw your exclusive Viewers Club Card number. Sign up, watch, and win with McDonald's and Fox 7.
Ball State basketball is sponsored by Cardinal Varsity Club, helping Ball State student athletes on the court and in the classroom. Ball State University, it's everything you need. And WIPB Corporate.
Just a couple of minutes left, 2:04 to play in the game. Indiana on its way to a 4th straight victory. Ball State's trying to finish strong here in the final 2:04 as Skip Mills goes to the free throw line and hits. Mills now with 15. It's been a tough night for Tim Buckley's Cardinals. Ball State led 20-18, about midway through, a little way past the midway point of the first half. And then Robert Vaden shook loose for a couple of three-pointers. DJ White hit a pair of free throws. Vaden hit another three-pointer. Roderick Wilmot hit a couple of free throws, and just like that, it was an 11-point Indiana lead, and the Hoosiers never looked back. IU on an 18-2 run to turn the corner and turn the game around in the first half.
Not only did that happen, but then Ball State helped the situation because their offense lacked continuity. It lacked good flow, and they took pressured shots, and then Indiana was able to get the run that they got because of great outside shooting, and that's their game.
Charles Bass back on the floor for Ball State, as is DeAndre Payton. Sean Klein seeing his first action for Indiana tonight. Klein's been bothered by some knee problems. Dench, the outside shot off the mark, and Eric Sewer, 5'8", gets the rebound. And a fresh 35 for the Hoosiers, under a minute and a half to play.
I tell you, Vince, just a very well-coached Indiana team. Really very impressed with them. No different tonight than it was any other time I've watched them play this year. Very enjoyable to watch. Great athletes. Tremendous spacing, and I think that's a credit to the coaching staff in that they are able to take the athletes that they have and pick a style out and teach that style that is important to the talent that they have. And that's what I think good coaching is all about. Do an excellent job of that. Good passing.
Charles Bass will pick up his 5th.
17 assists Indiana has. They average almost 20.
17 assists on 26 baskets. That's pretty impressive.
It's unbelievable.
Charles Bass picking up his 5th foul. He fouls out of the game. Leaves with 12 points and 6 rebounds. But Jerry just 0 for 3 at the free throw line tonight for Bass. And isn't he a kind of player that where he plays on the court, you'd like to see him get more than 3 free throw attempts?
Yeah, you would. I think that's where he has to finish plays, Vince. He has to extend himself up on shots and really draw the foul. And Didn't go to the line. He has good touch and he can make free throws, but he's one of those guys that shoots them pretty well in practice, but when the game comes, he struggles a little bit. But yeah, you'd like to see him get 6, 7, 8, 9 free throws a game, and I think he will as he feels more comfortable and gets into into the flow of the offense and what the expectations are and so forth as the conference season wears on.
Dench hits 1 of 2. Indiana almost at its average of 82 per game. The Hoosiers on top 80-54. Kyle Tabor and Adam Alfeld into the ball game for Indiana as Mike Davis clears the bench. Final 40 seconds.
Well, just what a great win of Indiana State game was when they beat Indiana, because you see what a good team they are. And for Indiana State to win just shows what kind of play they have.
Perryman takes it to the glass. Klein blocks it, and it'll be goaltending. So count the bucket for Perryman. Jelon Perryman's first 2 points of the night. Already gone off the glass when Klein gave it a smack. Final 10 seconds as the clock winds down, and Indiana bouncing the final seconds away, and the Hoosiers victorious in convincing fashion. Indiana 80, Ball State 56. The Ball State Cardinals slipped to 4-4 on the season, and 17th ranked Indiana wins its 4th straight. The Hoosiers now 8-2 as they head to the Big Ten season. They'll open up against Michigan at Assembly Hall on Tuesday. The Ball State Cardinals will open the Mid-American Conference schedule Wednesday against Akron. Kevin Lee is with Ball State coach Tim Buckley.
You were up by 2 about 13 minutes into the game. What turned it for Indiana?
Well, I think they came and played the way they're capable of playing, and we got away from playing the way we needed to play to stay in the ball game, and then it took too long to try to get it back, and we've just got to continue to improve in those areas.
You did some really good things for a while. When Indiana, with the inside presence they have, though, is hitting from the perimeter, what can you do?
Well, you got a player like Robert Vaden that can, he's got a radar on his arm, and it just wills the ball into the basket. He hits big shots and breaks your spirit a little bit. And so I thought we did a pretty good job in trying to get the ball out of Killingsworth's hands, but our rotations were slow. Sometimes our traps were slow, and we were stuck in concrete in our zone. We didn't move, and those are things we got to look at and work on to get better.
There's no doubt you play to win, but this is one of the best teams in the country. What can this do for you heading into conference season?
Well, we have to learn from it, like we do every day in practice, and we'll watch more film, and we'll pay attention to things we did well, and we got to do a better job of paying attention to Ball State basketball and not necessarily the environment surrounding it, and be more focused, and we've got to get better production off our bench in terms of carrying things out the way they need to be done.
Okay, thank you, Tim.
All right, thanks, Kevin.
Tim Buckley, the head coach of the Cardinals. Vince?
Well, and as Tim mentioned, there are things to build on. The Cardinals have to get right back to work because they'll open up the Mid-American Conference on Wednesday. Skip Mills led the way for Ball State with 16, but not one of his better nights, Jerry, as we look at some of the team numbers.
Well, it wasn't, but other guys stepped up, and you see that, Indiana was just superb in all categories, and that's what they've done all year. And turnovers was just everything was in their favor. Even the rebounding, free throw shooting was good. So you have to give them a lot of credit. They came in here and played the way they were expected to. Ball State has to learn, as Tim said, get ready for a tough Akron team coming in here Wednesday and just reassert themselves in the MAC.
Indiana plus 27 from three-point range tonight. The Hoosiers make 9 more three-pointers than Ball State. So plus 27 from beyond the arc in a 24-point game. That, I think, Robert Vaden, 6 of 6 from three-point range. Tim Buckley mentioned him in his post-game comments. Vaden, the game high scorer tonight with 22. And Vaden's damage was done in the first half, and then Marshall Strickland did his damage in the second half. Strickland finished with 18. He was 4 of 6 from three-point range. Quite a 1-2 combination for Indiana tonight. Our next telecast on the Ball State Sports Network comes your way from Ohio, Athens, Ohio, the Convocation Center, as the Ball State Cardinals take on the Ohio Bobcats. That's the 8th of January, a 2 o'clock start. Jerry and I will be there for that one. Look forward to you joining us for that telecast. Final score tonight, the Indiana Hoosiers in convincing fashion over Ball State, 80-56 the final. Indiana now 8-2, while Ball State slips to 4-4. For Kevin Lee and Jerry Pearson, all of us at the Ball State Sports Network, I'm Vince Welch. Thanks for joining us on New Year's Eve. Happy New Year to you and yours.